Welcome back to Shit You Might Have Missed, where we rapid fire through all the wildest news your algorithm probably didn't show you. On this week's menu, we have authoritarian merch, socialist mayors, Mexican food for your mental health, and Trump's daddy issues. So buckle up. Let's start with a recap of June. On June 14th, more than 5 million people across the country showed up to the No Kings protest. That's roughly about 1.9% of the eligible voting population, and history shows you only need 3.5 to topple oppressive regimes. June 19th was Juneteenth. Juneteenth marks the day that the last enslaved Black people in Texas were finally told they were free, over 2 years after slavery was officially abolished. June 24th marked 3 years without Roe, and I wrote about the anniversary on my Substack. Shared my personal story with miscarriage and abortion care. And June 26th marked 10 years of marriage equality. Now on to politics, power, and patriarchy. Trump wants us to call him daddy. He is not joking either. He is selling merch with his mugshot and the word daddy on it. The hypermasculinity in this administration is out of control. I need my feminine nomenon back. He's also selling phones that he says were made in the USA, but they actually took down the marketing that says they were made in the USA because they were allegedly made in China. Trump is also contracting with Palantir to track US citizens. Look it up. This is not paranoia. This is actually happening. Or Trump wants it to happen. Marjorie Taylor Greene also has been doing some insider stock trading. She bought stock in Palantir right before this deal started buzzing around. And then that stock rose to 79%. Marjorie Taylor Greene serves on the Homeland Security Committee. So definite conflict of interest. And insider trading should be banned for members of Congress. But even old Marjorie is calling out Trump for the shenanigans he's pulling with Israel and Iran. Speaking of, Trump is, quote, very mad at Israel and Iran. He said he's mad at Israel. He's more mad at Iran. There was talk of a ceasefire, then more bombs dropped, and then Trump dropped the F-bomb. He said that Israel and Iran don't know what the F they're doing. Is this maybe projection? And to be clear, we are not at war yet. Congress declares war, not Trump. I would also like to point out that history is repeating itself here. If you grew up in the early 2000s, you remember the weapons of mass destruction, which turned out to be a lie. Well, this is more of the same. U.S. national intelligence testified that Iran was not working on nukes, yet President Trump has said that his own appointed director of intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, is, quote, wrong. Are we really going to do this again, guys? And more of our rights are under attack. The Supreme Court ruled that states can cut off Medicaid funding for Planned Parenthood. And as a reminder, Planned Parenthood does not only provide abortions, they provide cancer screenings, STI testing, and a plethora of other affordable health care for people. Trump also rolled back Biden-era protections. So hospitals no longer have to provide life-saving abortions for the life of the mother. Again, I just wrote a Substack in this same vein, so please go give it a read. Adriana Smith gave birth on June 13th. This was the woman who was forced into a coma and forced to give birth by the state against the family's wishes. The baby was 1 pound, 13 ounces when born, and we are watching forced birth happen in real time. In local news, Arkansas is resuming a ban on hemp-derived THC products, so no Delta 8 for you. Now on to a few signs of hope. There are a few silver linings. So a 33-year-old socialist won the NYC mayoral primary. That's a tongue twister. Now Andrew Cuomo dropped out. He has now decided to enter the race again as an independent. So this fight is not over yet. 15,000 Arkansans showed up to the No Kings protest. Good job, guys. Local resistance is alive and well. And Arkansas Abortion Support Network launched a diaper bank. Go check out their wish list on Amazon. In environmental news, ocean acidity has hit a critical threshold. What does that mean? Basically, acidification means marine life in danger, which means entire ecosystem collapse. No big deal. And then the Trump administration is going to end protections for 58 million acres of national forest. And environmentalists have already indicated that they will sue to prevent its reversal. Now for some fun news, remote workers, a new study found that remote workers eat better, feel less stressed, and get more done. So it turns out when people aren't micromanaged into burnout, they thrive. Who knew? Americans are matching with Canadians on dating apps. They are looking for love and an exit strategy. Now, I have not found a study to confirm this, but there was a viral Instagram post that, like I said, I haven't been able to find the study, but apparently Mexican food is the top serotonin-boosting cuisine. And can't find the study, but it sounds legit to me. And then in adorable news, 2 cubs at a conservation fund bonded, and their names were Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. So, TNT. Give the people what they want. Wildlife Swiftie content. In other news, the Grammys announced they are going to change their country category after Beyonce, a Black woman, won for Best Country Album. They're splitting it into modern and traditional country. Interesting choice and interesting timing. We all know a senator and her husband were assassinated in Minnesota. And when tragedy strikes, usually the president calls the governor of that state, right? Well, when asked if Trump was going to call Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, who was also on the hit list, there would have been an assassination attempt on Tim Walz if the person hadn't been caught. But Trump said he would not call Tim Walz, that he is, quote, slick and whacked out, and that calling him would be, quote, a waste of time. Quite presidential. And then the Army met their recruitment goal 4 months early, which sounds great, but is actually a recession indicator. And that's the news dump, folks. You're now the smartest person in the group chat. Don't forget to support local organizations like Arkansas Abortion Support Network. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more news dumps, more shit you might have missed. And remember, if a man wants you to call him daddy, make sure he's feeding you tacos and not trying to dismantle democracy.